What's up, man?
What's up, dude?
Good to have you back.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
So last time we talked, you were, well, first off, we got into like nuts and bolts of the core medical stuff and the foundation.
Yep.
And then y'all are getting ready for that big annual event you have every year. So how did that go?
So end of February, beginning of March, we had the Military Appreciation Weekend. It was up in South Carolina. The name of the town just left my brain. Beaufort, South Carolina. Like right across the little waterway from Parris Island, South Carolina, where my military career started off. So pretty cool. But man, it was great. We had right about maybe a little over 400 people there. We had concerts, we had skeet shooting, pistol shooting, and it was fantastic. We had some like equine therapy people that came out and did like some kind of demoing how they work with veterans with horses and stuff, and it was really cool, man. Had a lot of military influencers and kind of I guess military celebrities, I guess is a way to say it, or veteran celebrities come out and like support the cause, support the foundation. It was a really good time, but also we'll be doing it again, this coming year. But man, incredible networking opportunity. Like even if you just want to pay the thing and come out, like there's a ton of people to meet and network. I know a lot of people that advanced their business because they were at that event. Yeah. It was a really cool event. It was my first time being in charge of it, which was super stressful.
How did that go?
I'm not an event planner, but it was. Honestly, I hated running it because I'm a super in the moment kind of guy. I like to be present with people. I didn't feel like I could be present and have conversations when I was worried about everything that was going on. But it was a blast, man. Had a great time. We had a bunch of great people there. Raised money for a great cause. Got to meet a lot of really cool people, and honestly made some like very long lasting friendships. I had a buddy of mine, Cody Alford. He's the fastest promoted master sergeant in the history of the Marine Corps. He's kind of been like I don't want to call him a veteran celebrity or a social media influencer or whatever, but he's got a big following. But I've been following him for years. We ended up meeting. We had spoken before on the phone, but really hanging out together at that event, and it honestly like started a friendship that has been freaking awesome. I feel like I've been best friends with that dude for 10 years. And like it all came from, I had a short speaking engagement at the event, and I was kind of vulnerable in my speaking engagement, which is new for me, going through my medical retirement and kind of talking about some things that haven't addressed publicly, I guess. Just issues, suicidal ideations, thoughts that we all have had, a large majority of people from my community have had that we just keep quiet and kind of deal with on our own. And I was vulnerable about it. And the room was super quiet. And Cody just yelled out, "Whoa, we love you, Colton." And so like whenever it was done, I like came by him. I'm like, "Hey man, I appreciate that. Like, thanks for the moral support." And he was like, "Man, I look up to you." And I like rolled my eyes, kind of huffed and puffed, like, "Yeah, okay." Like went to walk off. This is a guy that I look up to and admire. He doesn't look up to me. I look up to him, And so I like just started to walk off, and he got up and like chased me down and grabbed me. I was like, "Bro, do you think I'm lying to you? You think I'm just like saying what I think you want to hear?" He's like, "No, I'm serious. You were up there. You were vulnerable. That's courageous. Like that's bravery." He's like, "You look at bravery like what you did on the battlefield. I look at it as what you just did with 400 people sitting here and talking about some of your lowest times." He's like, "Dude, that's what it's all about." And then we just kind of like from that moment, I was like, "Man, I appreciate you like taking the time to like say that." And then it just started a friendship, man. He's been there for me and some of my closest friends when we needed it the most. But it was just the event as a whole was awesome, and I know a lot of people's lives were impacted. I personally made some really good friendships that have lasted, a long time now, and will last for a lot longer. It was a great event. Really enjoyed it.
That's what's up. Yeah, no, I've been following him since you mentioned him, and then it is funny how there is a community now of veterans and combat veterans, and there's a lot of posers too, right? Which you get that with anything, I think. But I think if you can smell bullshit, you can kind of sift that out. You know what I mean? But I've seen that. I've been in this like space of like consuming that now. I'm like, okay, this is cool, just from being connected with you, and then I guess you being on, and then like connected with some of your network and the other guys that the sniper shooters and all that stuff. And like so I'm connected to these networks, and I'm looking at these people. I'm like, dude, this is a whole other group of people that I've never had contact with, right?
Man, to me, it's been awesome because I met Tyler Gray at the Military Appreciation Weekend as well. Him and AJ Buckley came. They're actors. They were on the CBS show SEAL Team. Yeah. But Tyler was he was portraying a SEAL Team 6 member on TV, but in real life, he really was a retired Delta Force operator. So he was operating in the Army Special Operations at the highest level. And he was portraying, a SEAL operating at the highest level. And the show was great. As a Green Beret, I didn't want to like the show. It's called SEAL Team. It's one more SEAL Team show or book or whatever. But it really was good. I watched it and I told him, hey man, that was super impactful for me. And he told me hey man, I was writing into the show of experiences that I went through, guys from my unit. And I was like, man, I ain't gonna lie to you. The action stuff was great. I loved how realistic it was as an operator, but also I ain't gonna lie to you, I might have cried. You know what I mean? There was some really good, these are situations that we've been in. And I know friends that have been through the same thing, or the way they deal with loss, the way that we mentally handle the coping mechanisms, I guess, that a lot of us create that aren't healthy and we don't admit it. But man, from that event, really, I got surrounded by, during this time of transition for me, when I'm getting out of the military, I got surrounded by great guys who are who have already, I think Cody's been out for 9 or 10 years. Tyler's been out for 15 years-ish, something like that. So I've got guys that have already been through the transition. They've gone through their low periods, finding out who they are again, kind of reinvented themselves, figured out what they wanted to do in life. And man, a lot of guys struggle with purpose and identity. Who am I if I'm not a Green Beret? Yeah. I know a lot of people that aren't retiring because they're bro, if I get out, I don't know who I am. I am a Green Beret before anything else. And to be honest, it's something you don't realize. That my whole life revolved around being a Green Beret. I'm proud of that accomplishment. And it's okay to be proud of my accomplishments, but not that be a consuming, I am just a Green Beret. I am much more than that. But finding that out is kind of a rough, weird time.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But I got to meet these guys who have already been there. They've done that. And they're giving me advice. And they're man, I was nowhere near where you are 1 year into your retirement process, not even technically out yet. You're dude, it took me years to get to where you're at now, but it's just because I'm surrounded by guys. I'm getting to learn from people who did it and did it well. It's been a huge blessing to me. Man, just getting to listen to their stories and be dang, we are the same. We struggle with the same things, things that I didn't acknowledge as a problem in my life. And I'm listening to these guys, I'm man, I have that same habit. I didn't even view it as a problem that way. And then just working with them to get through it, man. Both those guys have been a huge blessing in my life. And we met and connected at Military Appreciation Weekend. And then it's developed into a great friendship. Tyler Gray is actually in New York right now doing his book release. I think it's called Forged in Chaos. Fantastic book. It's his story of transitioning out of the military and the bad habits that he created. It's a fantastic book. But it's his personal story, and just getting to hear it all from him, where he's well, he knows the answers and he'll just stop me well, that's what you think? Oh, okay, man. You're almost there. You've almost got it. And so it's just been super neat to I know for me it meant a lot, and I know a lot of other people that have kind of developed those same relationships from that event specifically.
Well, yeah, you're speaking on it's funny that now what in military film in these shows that are coming out and stuff like that show too, and how realistic it's becoming now because you're getting people who actually have experience and bringing them in versus the stuff that we used to see.
Oh yeah,
it was absolute bullshit. You know?
Yeah. Well, it's funny because man, Tyler said the same thing. He's man, the worst is my wife makes fun of me. She's we can't watch military films together. You're just gonna shoot holes at everything. Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of great this CBS did SEAL Team really well. Like the way that they're doing CQB and like the angles, like close quarters battle when they're doing room clearing stuff, the angles of the camera. I thought it was great, dude. As hard as that is to admit, it's great PR for the SEALs, but it was done really well. And I think, what's the new movie, Warfare?
Will you pull that up, Josh? Warfare.
Yeah,
I haven't seen. Which one is that one?
Dude, it is real good.
Who's in that?
Honestly, I don't know.
I don't know if I've seen that or not.
I have a terrible memory.
No, I haven't seen that. Okay.
Dude, it's really good.
Okay. Well, now that you're saying it's good, then I'm definitely going to watch it.
I'm not I don't watch a lot of movies, but I had so many like combat veteran buddies that are close to me call me like, hey, have you watched this yet? Dude, I watched it. It's really good. There's very little dialogue in that.
Okay.
It's
gotcha.
just like, hey, I think it's 2003 or 2004 time frame is kind of when it's based around in Iraq.
Gotcha.
And yeah, 2006. It's a SEAL platoon doing operations there, and I thought they did a fantastic job. It's very little dialogue. It's really just watching them do their job. Unlike a lot of films where they're like, somebody has
a build a storyline,
traumatic moment, and then they suck at their job or they're shell shocked and they can't perform their job. I love the way they did it, where there's like a guy who has a traumatic thing, but he's still rocking his job, but he's like, bro, I'm rocked. I'm in a bad way, and he's still excelling at his job, which is a lot more realistic. But yeah, seeing it a lot. And then, I think it's just a lot of that community is like tired of watching really poorly done military movies. So I love to see it.
Yeah, it's something that I've noticed, and being, like I said, now that meeting you guys and getting this new network of people, just constantly seeing these other people involved in this stuff is pretty cool. But yeah, man. So what about So initially when we first got on, it was more about talking about core medical and TRT for like veterans and how is all that going, and like also like what are you doing with peptides now? Because like I've already changed my game up since you introduced me and got me on the team. Now like I'm sitting here like I got my stuff. Like I got my TRT. I'm where I need to be, and then I'm adding in these peptides now. My recovery's changed. My sleep's changed. Like
so, man, I'm still honestly like when I'm traveling a lot, I wind up like cutting down on the amount of stuff that I'm taking because I'm not going to consistently do it.
Yeah.
And my work has kind of gotten very, very busy, but still working with core, loving what core is doing. Honestly, the foundation is, dude, it's everything that I need right now. I need to be working with veterans and law enforcement guys. Personally, I think that's my calling in life. Like that's what I believe that I'm put on this planet to do. Is I lived the life that I had to live in order to like reach some of those people.
Yeah.
I've been through some stupid things in my life, and I genuinely like am kind of at a point now where I believe that I had to go through those things in order to like reach and be effective in like talking to dudes that are also going through that stuff. But it's a super selfish thing. Like I enjoy it. I love helping people, but also it's very helpful to me.
Yeah, that's good though, right?
Yeah.
If you're helping them and you're getting fulfillment out of it, I don't think it's selfish at all. It's just most of the time selfless acts aren't. There's sometimes you just feel like you need to do them, but they might not be as fulfilling as it is, but you actually doing something you enjoy and they get something out of it too.
It's a lot of times it's not selfless in the moment.
Right.
It's selfless in the moment, but at the end of the day, I know that, it's like going to the gym. Going to the gym is not always fun.
No.
But at the end of the day, it's worth it in the long run. And I think that's the same thing for me. I like the feeling of, hey man, I'm making a difference and people are counting on me, and I enjoy that aspect of it. I enjoy feeling like I'm doing something to contribute to the community that I came from. But as far as the peptides go, man, especially when I'm traveling a lot, I'll cut down on it, and then I'll get to the point where like my inflammation skyrockets. I haven't been taking my BPC. I haven't been doing my TB500, and then it's like, oh man, I'm traveling. I'm sleeping like crap. Whatever. All this stuff kind of compiles again. And then maybe my diet's gotten a little out of hand, and next thing I know, my inflammation's just through the roof, and I'm like, dang, I can't go to jiu-jitsu anymore. Everything hurts. And so I recently got back on to kind of stabilized, got back on my BPC, got back on the TB500, dealing with a bunch of injuries. Jiu-jitsu is still pretty tough on me, but
are you back rolling now or consistently?
Yeah, well,
when you can.
Consistency is a relative term.
But you're back doing it a little bit.
Yeah. It provides a like form of mental therapy that's worth the physical
for sure
detriment to me. But yeah, I just learning to do old man jiu-jitsu, I guess. Learning to do the like lazy old man jiu-jitsu and efficiency of movement, which sounds great on this podcast. If you watch me do jiu-jitsu, it's probably not what it looks like. But yeah, man, getting like the IGF is super fantastic.
So I was on IGF probably the first 6 months of my protocol, just because I wanted to try a peptide, and our state's still kind of weird on certain things, right? But I was just running my basic TRT protocol, and then IGF, ran that for 6 months. I felt really good on that. I was also doing TB. I was doing BPC 157 and TB 500, of course. I actually got off of IGF just because I wanted to try something. I'm just trying to figure out what works best for me. I felt like it was good, but I felt like I kind of held a lot of water on it.
Really?
That was just me, and I talked to Alex about it, and he's like, yeah, man, I mean, everyone's different, So I'm recently on Samorlin.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I love it.
Man.
I love it, dude. And I've only been on it and they say you need to be on it a couple months to really get the full effect, but I've only been on it probably like a month and a half, and I really, really enjoy it. Like, from what it is doing for me, filling that void of me, like, once being like a old school steroid abuser, I'm not ever going to chase that dragon anymore, right? But just doing my TRT to get me to ground level sometimes is not enough to get me to feeling good, right? It's just to keep me where I need to be. And that stuff has worked great just to give me, I've been sleeping better and just my recovery.
Yeah, and sleep is a big problem for me. And so I really struggle with sleep. I have to have a routine set, it's a whole ordeal for me to get good sleep. I've done the Samorlin. I'm a huge fan. I've got buddies that's what makes them hold water weight.
Really?
Man, yeah. And so it like you said, it's kind of different for everybody, but going through the protocols and adding a thing as you go, if you're interested in it, and you'll get benefit, or say, hey, this isn't working for me. I'm starting to hold water like I normally wouldn't. Everybody's a little bit different in that area. And that's one of the things that I like about Core is how they address your blood work, how they address it. It's more of a personalized thing to you and your goals. But no, I love the Samorlin. I think it's easier when you're traveling to whether it's taking one pill at night or taking one pill in the morning and one pill at night, whatever dosage you're using. I think it's fantastic. I wish I could say that, man, it helps. It's a huge game changer with my sleep. For me, it's not.
Well, for me, that's crazy. That's for me. Cause I'm taking the shot, just your peptide shot, not the peel. And, dude, within an hour or two, it's not that it makes me fall asleep, but I can easily go to sleep. And for me, that's normally a hard thing. Especially if I'm wound up or something's going on. Now, if I ever sit still long enough, I can sleep, but it's about that REM sleep, right?
Yeah.
I don't ever get that.
So normally I have a watch on, but I track my sleep with a Garmin.
Yeah.
And so my REM sleep, it's not that it's the quality of my sleep is normally really terrible, but
Same.
Also the quantity of sleep that I get is also terrible.
Same.
So the quality of my sleep goes up, but I know so many people that have done it and be like, man, this is a game changer. I have the craziest dreams. I'm like, dude, I don't get that, but my watch is telling me that my sleep is better. I'm not getting the sleep. I'm not getting the quantity of sleep that I should be getting still. I don't feel like it makes me tired. I don't feel like I take so many natural things to help me try to sleep. But
were you saying melatonin or you're more
I try to stay away from that.
Yeah, because that stuff you build up dependency on that stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Man, I do the magnesium powder stuff and the whatever. But I have found that if I set a routine of I take my nighttime, non-addictive, all natural sleep stuff. I take my Samorlin. I drink a thing of chamomile tea.
Yeah.
Try to set this routine at this time, and then all the lights and TV are off at this time.
Yeah. Then
I'm good. But the second that I'm traveling, man.
Yeah, it's out the window.
Yep. And I'm working crazy hours.
And especially you're wound up. When you're traveling, you're wound up, dude. I'm never even when I go vacation, you're on vacation, really dude, I'm up before daylight, ready just to do, because everything's changed.
Well, I think for me, it's like a baseline of the past year has been a game changer and like learning to deal with anxiety. But for me, the second that I'm out of like my comfort zone and that anxiety peaks back, and there's nothing I mean, maybe eventually it's just time, but that's a habit of like, I'm in an unfamiliar environment. I'm going to be a little bit like my senses are a little more elevated. It's like subconscious. Like I can't help that.
And that's, you probably have some of that. I mean, PTSD too. That ties into that too.
Yeah. I mean, that's funny because I don't think anybody from my community is like, bro, that's a thing of PTSD, but it is.
It's gotta be, right?
It is. Like the fact that I'm concerned that something is going to happen just because I'm not at my house. Yeah. I'm in an unfamiliar environment, but that's a natural response from, years of doing that job. And it's just, to me, it's more of like a life change than it is. It's still weird for me to say, well, that's post-traumatic stress disorder. Like, but at the end of the day, by definition, that's what it is.
I've had, I don't know, my entire life changed for the better. Over the, since getting married and adopted children and just slowing down and living a better, and worried about business and just getting my shit together. Yeah. And I developed anxiety after that, and which is really weird because you would think I would have it before when I was doing all the crazy shit all the time, which I didn't, I guess, because I was just constantly in chaos. But the only thing that really has helped me with it is like the breathing stuff that we talked about before. Yeah. We talked about that last time, but also do the cold plunge. That shit helps me. Yeah. It does, because I get that shit done in the morning. I just really don't give a shit anymore.
Do you combine the two? Have you done breath work?
Yeah.
In your cold
plunge?
Okay.
Yeah. It's horrible. It sucks. But it does distract me from what's going on while I'm in there.
So, man, this is something that I learned from Tyler Gray, and it was like a game changer for me at the time. It may sound simple to other people, but like 1 in 3 men have been like abused physically, sexually, whatever. Like, so like coming up, like if you've ever met like a kid who went through their parents' divorce at a young age, right? A child is very selfish, like in the fact that we don't think that we are a product of our environment. We think that the environment is a product of us, right? So like when a kid's parents are going through a divorce, they're not going through a divorce because of the kid, but the kid attributes, my parents are getting a divorce because of me.
Yeah, I got you.
See what I'm saying? Yep. So like they start to develop this thing of like, hey, my parents are getting a divorce and it's because of me. I am what's causing this. It's not, I am starting to think that way because my environment is chaotic. And so you develop when you go through those like emotional, physical, sexual, or like abusive environments at a young age, what happens is as you get older, you develop those coping mechanisms from that event. As you get older, you're 70% more likely to struggle from PTSD. Yeah. And so talking with Tyler Gray, he was like, man, my worst time, I guess I'll just start with this. Like my worst suicidal ideation was when like my life had never been better.
Really? In what aspect? In what aspect?
Dude, it was not long before I came on the podcast, I think for the first time.
Okay.
But I came back from a deployment. I was getting out of the military. My family life was better than ever. I'd just gotten this awesome job where I was like making a difference and like things were really looking up for me. And kind of the way it happened is I was just on this, it felt like a winning streak. Like everything was going fantastic in my life. I was so happy and so content. One morning I got up and it wasn't, you have kids. Like sometimes you wake up your kids and they're freaking crazy and it's, hey, this is not that morning. Woke up my daughter and she's like, come snuggle with me. Like it was a perfect morning. My daughter was sweet and cuddly, got her dressed and everything was great. My son was just super excited to be talking to me about random, whatever it was that morning. It was a great morning. Kids got dressed, stress-free, no one's bickering. Like my wife comes over, I was cooking some breakfast. She's like, hey, I'm taking the kids to school. We talked about some things that morning. She's like, hey, I love you, gives me a kiss. She goes to leave. My kids come running back in, like, hey, Dad, we want a kiss before you go to school. Give my kids a kiss, sitting down at my kitchen table. I got like 30 minutes before I have like a work call. Just the most stress-free kind of morning that you could have. Sit down at the kitchen table, and then this, like, it sounded like an audible voice. You are a worthless piece of shit. You should kill yourself. Dude, like my hands started shaking. I just pushed my plate away. I started bawling, crying. I agreed with it. And I'm like, dude, I don't understand. Like I have felt bad or down or been depressed when I lost a friend or when, like my family situation was deteriorating, or when I was not being the man that I knew that I was supposed to be. But here, there was no external factor. I'm like, why do you feel this way? Like, what is going on? I called my wife. I was like, drop the kids off and please come back to the house. Like, hey, I have no plan to do it. I'm not going to do it, but I agree with it. And something's not right. Like, I don't know what's going on. You know, my wife immediately was like, is it me? Is it something?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
No. It's not. I can't, I don't know what it is, but I don't even know what to do. Like, how do I go about my day and act normal when all of a sudden I'm depressed out of nowhere? And it's like heavy, man. I've never felt anything like that before. I 100% agreed that I was a worthless piece of shit and I should kill myself. And like, you know, then I'm like guilting myself. Like, dude, you just looked at your daughter in the face and 10 minutes later, this is what's going through your mind.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and I'm like, how can you, I couldn't put it together. And so years later, or a year and some change later, I'm telling Tyler Gray this. I'm like, I just don't, like, I'm figuring all this stuff out, man.
Well, did that come in waves anymore? Or that was just at one time, or like?
Yeah, it kind of started. That was like the first one.
Here's my question. Like, did that come in waves, like when everything was chill and then you just almost like you had to self-sabotage because you're used to chaos?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And so
that's where I got to. Yeah.
Well, it's kind of what reminded me is when you said,
yeah,
I got my stuff together and then the anxiety started. And so, man, one day I was talking to Tyler Gray about this and I was kind of explaining that exact scenario, laid the whole story out. And he was like, man, he's like, so what is your greatest problem? And I was like, man, I'm learning that my greatest problem is this like negative self-talk. It's not true. Like, I was convinced that that was just who I am. And that wasn't, it was something I couldn't change. I'm going to be hard. I'm just hard on myself. But like, that's not true. That's, in my opinion, that is like outside influence, whether you want to call it like, I kind of opened my eyes to the spiritual side of things. And I genuinely believe that is like, whether you want to call it a demon or Satan or like negative energy, whatever you want to call it. I do believe that was something trying to lie to me, to deceive myself into thinking that I am not worth what's the good that's happening in my life. The further I've gotten from that moment, this is kind of like what I've discovered from that moment. But Tyler hit me with like a bombshell and he was like, man, so you mean to tell me with no external factors, that's when you got to your lowest? It's like, so it wasn't a conscious thing. You don't believe it, like, but subconsciously, this is the problem. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. He's like, man, you're so close. Like the negative self-talk, that's real close, but that's not it. And so then he just started, well, let me ask you this. Have you ever been, asking me some questions about my life? And I was like, bro, how do you know this about me? And so we kind of got into it, but he was like, at the end of the day, this is a subconscious lack of self-worth and self-appreciation. He's like, you don't love and respect yourself, so you can't allow yourself to experience it from others. And I've been like, man, I've lived my whole life with that. Like I don't feel like I ever understood that other people actually loved me or actually respected me. In my mind, they didn't. In my mind, I was like, man, I'm a Green Beret, but these people don't know it. I don't deserve to be here. I just haven't been outed yet. Like, I'm not actually a good husband. I've just convinced my wife that I am. Like, I'm not actually a good father, but I've convinced other people that I'm good to my kids. And like, none of that was true, but it was true in my head. What I found was Tyler hit me with, man, you don't have PTSD, you have LTSD. You have lack of traumatic stress disorder. When there's not external chaos, you're so used to the chaos from the way that you were raised, from the life that you lived, from the 18 years in the military, you thrive in chaos. But when there is no chaos, you create it yourself.
Yep.
And so like, I'm like, man, okay, well, how do I fight my subconscious? That doesn't make any sense to me. But like, man, it's just been an eye-opening journey. Like, it's been an eye-opening walk of like figuring out, I don't think that PTSD and like lack of self-worth, I don't think that's a military problem. I don't think that's a law enforcement problem. It's prevalent in those communities, and those communities are more used to and more comfortable with violence, and so the suicide rates there are much higher. But you go and talk to any man on the street and they have those same thoughts to varying degrees. We've all struggled with it. I think it's a human problem. And I think it is a spiritual thing. But at the end of the day, it's a coping mechanism that a lot of people developed at a young age that served them maybe at one point in time. It served me really well in combat. I can compartmentalize anything. You tell me the worst news right now, and then I can get in a fight, and it won't affect my ability to fight. Like, I'm not going to be worried about that. I'm like, no, that's for later. This is for now. And I've done that for a long time. And what it turned into is I didn't deal with any of that. I just kept being like, okay, well, now the next deployment, the next mission, the next school. And I tried to fill that void with achievements or with accolades. And none of those accolades ever meant anything to me. Like joining the Marine Corps, I'm like, oh, bro, this is going to do it. I'm like, bro, I don't feel any different. Maybe it's a combat deployment. Oh, go on a combat deployment. I don't feel any different. Whatever it is, chasing these accolades and chasing these accomplishments to try and fill that void, and try to like overcome that self-worth to prove to myself, to prove to others. Like I was chasing a dragon that it didn't ever matter. You can't catch the dragon. Like it's never going to catch up until you kind of like take a step back and analyze and figure out who you are and what your purpose is and what your mission is in life. My mission is not to be a Green Beret. Like I had to believe that was my mission in life. And man, people used to joke and, hey, you're that breaking case of war guy. Like I'd convinced myself at one point I was not a good friend. I was not a good person, really. But like chaos, combat, fist fight, I thrived, dude.
Yeah.
And like, I was like, man, if I could just go to war all the time, I'd be in my zone, dude. I'd be doing what I'm called to do. None of that was true. But I'd allowed this voice to convince me that like, man, I messed up here. That's who I am. I am a screw up in all of these divisions. I'm not perfect. There's only one dude that has been perfect. I'm not here to be that guy. Like it's okay to mess up. I'm not a massive piece of shit because I make a mistake. That's just not how it works. Perfection isn't achievable. But like it's been a crazy year of growth for me, mentally and emotionally, like spiritually. And I really contribute a lot of that to the people that I've been able and fortunate enough to surround myself with. Man, a lot of growth. My family life is better than it's ever been. My mental health is for sure better than it's ever been. And part of that is like owning that it's okay to have bad days. It's okay to make mistakes, and it's okay to be emotional or to not have it all together. I don't know. I just went on a really long.
No, that's great. No, I mean it's great though. Like, yeah, you're in a position of like always trying to be perfect, be the best soldier, be the best, this and that, and then you're completely consumed with doing that and not taking care of anything else in the internal.
Yeah. It just becomes this habit of the second the silence starts, those little voices start again, and you're like, man, I got to get out of here.
New distraction.
I need a new mission. I need a new deployment. I need a new school, whatever it is. And then I chase that until it fills that void.
That's how I've been, dude. I've completely been that way my whole life and didn't realize it until late, right? Yeah. Until here recently. And what's helped me, I think, is really just slowing down and I guess enjoying the quiet without any distractions. But it's really hard to do that for me because I'm just like next thing. And I'm really bad about filling my plate up. And then it hurts my family and everyone around me after like a week or two. And I'm like, oh shit, let me dial it back in. Mushrooms helped a little bit for me. That stuff's helped a little bit, not too much though. As far as like, I can't do too much. If I do too much, then it's like, oh shit, I'm bringing up demons that I thought I got rid of. And then I just get super paranoid.
Yep.
It's like almost doing too much cannabis gummies or whatever. Same, like I get that. So like, but microdosing that has helped me, I think, a lot. And then also like doing like the other stuff, like the cordyceps and the other mushroom stuff, like taking that. I feel like that's helped me a little bit. And then having a routine where I could do like a cold plunge and then consistently going to the gym. It's like if I don't do all of those things, I just feel like a piece of shit. It's not that I feel like depressed as much as just like I can't get my rhythm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can't get my feet under me, and like I don't get momentum. It's like momentum stops, and it's like, oh shit, this is going to take me a week to get back and going in the good.
Yeah. Well, man, I think that's everybody. Like that's one of the things that I like about the Core Medical Foundation. I'm not trying to like sound like a salesman, but we acknowledge that it's not a one-stop shop. Like 70% of veterans that commit suicide have a hormone deficiency. And for that reason, we want to address the one part of that, the suicide epidemic that we are an expert in.
Yeah, let's start that first.
Yeah.
Let's start there.
But like, this is not a one-stop shop.
No.
Like, from what I've read in books, the psilocybin therapy and like the guided therapy,
yeah,
fantastic.
Yeah.
It's an eye-opening experience. And I really look forward to doing this podcast in a couple years from now or a year from now when I can talk about it more. But the cold plunge, the breathing techniques, improving your diet, like going to see a therapist, going to like a physical form of therapy for you, whether that's jiu-jitsu, art, whatever. And that's been a big one for me is like, dude, I couldn't tell you the last time I was creative in any way, shape, or form up until recently. Like,
what are you doing?
Man, I got into like writing again. Okay. I was big into writing when I was younger before the military, but actually this is from Cody Alford. Cody was like, man, when was the last time you wrote a poem or,
did he know that you already used to do that? He was
just like, man, when was the last time you were creative in any way? When was the last time you painted a picture or like tried to draw and I was like, dude, I don't know. I was like in high school, I was like in a, stupid high school band. Like I was in a band in middle school. I was writing songs and writing poems and like I was a lead singer in a band and played the bass, but like then I joined the military and shut down outside of like being creative with tactics. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't as creative. And like after 18 years of being in the military, I couldn't tell you the last time I tried to write a song or write a poem or like express myself in a different way through art. And it kind of like bothered me and I was like, oh, I'm gonna start doing some creative stuff. And then I didn't until I had like a work opportunity where I was given an opportunity to like look at some scripts for some different films and like make revisions to it. And I was like, man, this is dope. Like trying to like take ideas from my brain and like write them out like it's a story and build onto a storyline. And I really fell in love with it. I started writing poems again, started like.
And that's since I've talked to you?
Yeah.
Okay. That's awesome.
In my opinion, I think that's the greatest barricade to success or like to the other side or to like feeling better about it and conquering that stuff is being the ability to set down your ego, set down your pride and be open and be vulnerable. Like I've had really good civilian friends that were struggling and just going through it. And they're like, I'm like, dude, I'm finding out through somebody else. I'm like, dude, you're like one of my really close friends. Like I love you, dude. Why would you not call me? You're telling me the things that you've been through, we've talked about it. I've been through the same things. Why would you? He's like, yeah, but dude, I've never done the things that you've done.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
I'm like, dude, nobody gets a trauma trophy. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it's not a competition. At the end of the day, I don't care what happened that like caused you to feel that way, but I know exactly how you feel and it doesn't matter why you got there. It sucks to feel like that. Mm-hmm. And if it's, well, I was late for work and I didn't get the coffee that I want. Like, even if it's first world problems.
It's the worst. If it's the worst thing that's ever happened to you, right?
The worst thing that's ever happened to you is the same as the worst thing that's ever happened to me.
Exactly. It's just different. There's a different script for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. None of that matters. What matters is, but like I said, I think the barricade to like normalcy or like getting through that, I would say that that's not normal to get over that stuff and to get through that. Yeah, I would say most people just live with it because the barricade in between you and success is being able to be open and to be vulnerable and to say, hey, yes, I feel those same things. And that's difficult to do. I did not want to do it. It took a lot to pull it out of me and it took really good friends by my side. And man, I was in a situation where I remembered trauma that I had forgotten and like blocked out of my mind for a long time. And it not military related, just trauma that happened in my youth that I didn't want to acknowledge and had like honestly like forgotten about. Like, hey, that didn't happen. I believed that lie. I lived that lie. Like that has never happened to me. And then whatever, 20 years, 30 years down the road, it's like, I remember that. And it's like, I don't know what to do with that. And I'm sitting with two hardened combat veterans that like, I want to be liked and respected by, and to acknowledge this, makes me feel like, well, but what if they make fun of me?
Yeah. Yeah.
What if they are like, bro, you're less of a dude for admitting that? Like, but the second that I acknowledge it and I'm open and I'm vulnerable, they're like, bro, what do you want us to, like, dude, that's amazing that you made it through that. Like, it's not a, being open and vulnerable is that barricade. That is that hurdle. And it's the biggest, hardest step towards, whether you want to call it recovery or in my opinion, it's like being your true self. Like, I can't be my true self if I'm constantly putting up a front of what I want other people to think that I am.
Yeah.
The more I go down this path, like, I feel like the more it's like constantly laying down your ego, laying down your pride, and just being like, dude, that's just a front that I'm putting up. Like, if I'm acting how I want you to perceive me, I'm not being me. I just need to be me. And that's very difficult to do because I've spent my whole life acting like somebody that I wanted to be. And then the other part is like acknowledging that other people don't see me the way that I see me. Like, I'm always going to view myself through this lens of like, I'm not worthy of respect. I'm not worthy. I'll say always, hopefully not always, but I haven't conquered that entirely yet. But I have to like consciously remind myself like that, none of that is true. Like, I am worth something.
When do you think that started? Like, how young do you think that started?
I don't know, man.
Because I think I struggled with that a long time. Like, and then I got to where, I don't know. I just got to where I feel like I just let it go. I don't really know how. I think it was a lot just turn my life, like kind of changing my life around. Just doing better by everyone, I feel like. And then organically doing better by everyone just started to like fulfill me subconsciously.
Yeah.
To make me to where I'm like, okay, then I'm in the battle of like, well, don't put yourself on a pedestal, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I don't belong. Well, no one does. But at the same time, like, acknowledge that, okay, you're trying to do good shit and good shit's coming back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Kind of like a mantra that I've started to like live by is like, just do the right things for the right reasons and good things will come.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, man. And maybe, you know, like when somebody tells you like, hey, how often do you blink? Or like, hey, why are you breathing like that? You just immediately change how you blink.
Yeah, you're like, oh shit, yeah.
Like,
yep.
hey, when do I blink? But like, maybe that's it. Maybe it's I'm going through this transition phase and I'm like starting to overanalyze every aspect of my life, right? But like, man, I've seen like really amazing opportunities that have like fallen into my lap, or what I felt like I immediately went to a place of like, I don't deserve this. This isn't real.
Yeah, you get like imposter syndrome.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, that shit hits me a lot. Yeah.
But like working through that, and like I've had people call me out and be like, hey man, what are you talking about? Like, of course you deserve this. And they like, you know, hype me up and like remind me that I am worth something and I do have value. I tend to struggle more with that than this like ego and pride thing of like, who are you to think that I'm not? But don't get me wrong. I've definitely suffered from pride before. I've definitely, you know, when I was a brand new big bad Green Beret, I thought it was the coolest thing on the planet. When I was a brand new Marine, I thought it was the coolest thing on the planet. And you're going to get humbled.
Like, for sure. That's everything though.
Yeah.
That's everything. I've been through those seasons for sure, bro. But I think you are who you surround yourself with. That makes a huge difference too. And that's something that is not talked about enough. I mean, it's always the cliche answers that are the fucking true ones, right?
Yeah.
But no one wants to believe that it's that fucking easy, but it really is. It's just the easiest maneuver
concept.
Is the hardest transition.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just because we're getting our own way.
Yeah.
We just get our own way every day for every reason.
We're humans. But like, man, my dad used to say that all the time when I was younger. You know, I was starting to hang out with a bad crowd. He's like, you are who you hang out with. I'm like, Dad, you don't know my friends, Dad.
Yeah, they're good, man.
And I, like, for a long time, I just resented that statement as a whole. But like, the older I get, the more I'm like, dang, dude, Dad was right. Like, you are who you hang out with. If you want to be a millionaire and you can surround yourself with other millionaires, you will be a millionaire. Yeah. If you surround yourself with guys who have been through, I think it's a kind of like a two-part system. I think you need, what has been helpful to me while going through this phase is I've surrounded myself with guys that are, whether it's business or it's being the kind of man that I want to be, And I'm not like modeling myself after them. I want to be me, not them, right? But there's so many things that I can learn from these people, whether it's being a better father or husband, or how to like be more creative or be more of like who I'm called to be. So I surround myself with people who have already been through that struggle and in my opinion are doing that very well. But then I also have people that are way behind me in the struggle and just starting it. And I'm like, so I have people that I aspire to be more like, and then I also have people that like I can help through their tough times that I've already been through. So when I have kind of somebody ahead of me in the race and somebody behind me in the race that I'm helping along, it makes me feel like it kind of keeps me on that even keel rather than being like, man, look at all the progress I'm making.
I've never thought about that, but that's a good point. Yeah.
If you have a business mentor and also have somebody who's starting entrepreneurship, and you can be like, hey man, let me help you avoid the pitfalls. You're still learning, right? You're still learning from your business mentor. There's a lot that you need to learn there. But at the same time, there's a ton of things that you've done that are second nature at this point that you can pass on to somebody else. And I think that's just helpful, whether it's life advice or it's relationship advice or it's business. I think it all goes hand in hand. Kind of goes back to like finding your tribe, whatever that looks like, your business tribe, your friend tribe, whatever that is. And I try to like find role models in all of those categories of like, man, this dude is the dad that I want to be. This dude I wish I was the kind of husband that this dude is. And like start to hone in on that and like build that relationship and foster that relationship so that I can be around and learn more from them. Sometimes it's like, you see it, it's right there in front of your face and you're like, man, that's a really hard step to implement. But kind of circling all the way back, there's no one-stop answer. Like there's no like, hey, I'm going to do TRT and my life problems. I'm going to do cold plunge and breath work. I got to work on the mental, the physical, the spiritual, the emotional, like all that stuff, and almost like all simultaneously. I think
everyone wants there to be an easy answer, just like anything else, like working out or losing weight or getting in shape. Everybody wants one simple solution. It's not going to be that, and it's going to be different for everyone. Mm-hmm. You know, the same things that work for me may not work for you. But like you said, you have enough people around you who can discuss these things. Okay, what are the commonalities in our issues? What are our strengths? Yep. What are our goals? How can we achieve those together? What have you been through? Oh shit, I've been through something too. Yeah. How'd you get through it? Okay, I'll try that. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's just how you. I mean, it's just one of those things.
For sure. And it's like there's no one that doesn't deserve the help. You know what I mean? Like for sure, there's people out there that have chosen to live life a lot different than me, but every opportunity they got, or every choice that they made, that was the first time that they were faced with those decisions, and they chose left when they should have chosen right. I've done it a million times. I'm not here to judge anybody for the way that they live their life. Lord knows if everybody knew my mistakes, dude, I wouldn't be on this podcast. You know what I mean?
Same. But I try to tell a lot of them. Sometimes I'm not ready to yet. You know what I mean? But it's like, man, it's nobody's perfect.
Yeah, no.
We're all still learning every day, but it is cool to it's cool to just to talk to someone who it comparatively, people's issues may not, match up, or whatever, but it's still awesome to talk to someone who's seen some shit and done some shit and be like, hey man, look, we're all going through the same thing.
For sure, man. It's real weird when you like run into people that like, oh man, I look up to you. Yeah. I'm like, dude, we've hung out. Like, you know who I am. Like, I am the same dude. I try to be the same guy all the time. You know what I mean? I mean, we all go through seasons of change or whatever, but I try to be the same guy all the time. And it blows my mind when people are like, dude, I really look up to you. I'm like, bro, for what? Like but that's, once again, that's kind of like breaking that thing of, I'm going to constantly view myself, or I have always historically viewed myself as like, I see the problem here, not how far I've come. But it's a difficult process, dude. And it's different for everybody. I don't know.
No, I mean, I like it. I mean, I completely agree with you. What's new on the foundation? What are y'all doing? Like, what's going on there?
Man, working on a lot of stuff. We've got been in a kind of a weird phase of like, we have a lot of patients coming in. We have a lot of veterans and law enforcement guys coming in, but at the same time, it's been a weird time where I've been traveling. I've had a ton of events. I've had a ton of things. Honestly, we're kind of like in the phase of like this part of the year where I'm like coming back to like sharpen the blade and like get things set and get things ready. We do have an event coming up in November, November 14th and 15th, and we'll be out in like the Fresno, California area. We're going to be teaming together with another nonprofit, Beyond the Barracks. They're like,
those guys, I'm hooked up with them. I've been seeing them.
Really?
Yeah, since I've been seeing their stuff since you came on. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
And so we're hooking up with them, doing like kind of like a joint fundraiser for both of us. Brandy over at Beyond the Barracks, she's been, I think she's the founder. I know she runs the organization, but she's been doing that for 15, 16 years. I'm not sure the exact quantity of years, but it's a lot longer than I've been involved with the nonprofit. And she's just been like, man, she's been a mentor and like super helpful throughout this process. So we figured why not do some stuff together. We're going to do like a military gala, and we'll have like an auction and a raffle there and do it as a fundraiser. And then on the 14th and then the 15th, which is a Saturday, we're going to do like a big shooting competition, and we'll have like J.R. Guerra, who's one of the best competition shooters in the world. We'll have Cody Alford, out there. Incredible dude, super fun to hang out with and shoot with. But it'll be like myself. We'll have Matt Spalding. We'll have like a bunch of people out there. I think Tyler Gray is going to be there. We'll have like a bunch of big name people that'll be out there doing like a little shooting competition. All the proceeds go towards kind of split between Beyond the Barracks and the Core Medical Foundation. So going to combat veteran suicide with two different foundations. And once the competition's over, we're going to do like a shoot off against a celebrity. There's some people that we can't confirm yet, but I'm really excited. In the future, we should be announcing some big A-list celebrities that'll also be there. But we'll also have like Michael Johnson, UFC fighter, who's also fighting this weekend in New Orleans.
Saturday, yeah.
And then we'll have like Tyler Gray. We'll have AJ Buckley, who is another actor that's on the SEAL Team show. Freaking fantastic. We'll have a bunch of awesome people that are fun to hang out with, fun to shoot with. We'll do like a shoot off against a celebrity, do like a one-on-one, head-to-head deal. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And then we'll have like once again, like we'll have drinks and we'll have food provided, and just kind of have like a whole experience to it. But I'm super excited about both of those events in November.
Oh, that's what's up, dude. Yeah, I know. I've been seeing, like I said, from afar. I've been watching everything kind of develop, and it looks. I'm interested, what all's taking place as far as like from the foundation, and then also the actual business of like just from the success I've seen for myself. Because dude, I was a wreck when it come to hormone therapy. Like I was just a wreck, dude. I was just self-medicated with black market shit for so long, dude. And it just, man, it's made my life way easier, dude. Like it really is. Like, and I can be an advocate for it. And I tell everybody, people's like, what are you doing? Hey, can you get something? Like I need to go to my doctor. They don't know what they're doing. I'm just like, look, call these people. Here's a link. Like they will help you out and do it the right way, and you won't have to worry about this shit anymore. Because it's a constant. If you're ever like anyone ever, you've done it before. I did too. That's how we kind of got on this thing. But like, if you've ever been through that, dude, it is an absolutely roller coaster emotionally, physically, mentally, everything.
Well, like even before I got to Core, when I first got on hormone replacement therapy, and like with other clinics, like dude, I tried the pellets. That didn't work for me. Like my testosterone I think my test naturally was like at 180, and I'd never done steroids before. Right. I was like 25, 26 years old. And then, man, pellets didn't work. I had like a legit doctor sit me down and be like, hey, dude, I don't prescribe testosterone, but if you can get black market testosterone, I'll do your blood work and walk you through how to take it. It's like I was doing that for a while, and then I was like, dude, why am I even going to the doctor? Just did my own thing. Like what I've been through a gambit of like trying to do it at the VA, trying to do it legally, trying to do it the right way, trying to do it the wrong way, like doing it the wrong way on purpose. But at the end of the day, when I met the CEO, it's kind of like what I like to tell people is, man, I feel weird coming across as like a salesman for it, but like at the end of the day, I was a patient for you're
not a salesman. You're an advocate.
I was a patient for many years prior to coming to work here. I would only be working here because of the way that I was treated and because of the transformation that it gave me. And honestly, man, over the years, just kind of being around the company and being involved and being a friend of the CEO, man, I've been super impressed. Sidney Gordon's our CEO, and he has like just recruited an army of like incredible human beings that I aspire to be like. And so like the team just keeps getting better and bigger, and we'll have like a core week where we all get together and like go over like core values and go over like what our plans are for the future and what like different, things that we have going on both outside of core and in core, and how we can like merge those and kind of spread our influence and things. And I'm just like, I'll find myself like looking around, I'm like, dude, I never thought I'd be in a room with like this many savage dudes, all in aligned. It's been super awesome, man. And everybody is out to do like kind of something that I've kind of like started saying over the past couple months is like, it's like what the picture of like what I think dudes need to hear. It's like, hey man, this guy, Tyler Gray, has like a piece of that puzzle over here, and that's going to work for a lot of dudes. And then I had an old medic that was running a health and wellness course for special operations for a long time. And then he was a human performance and wellness in 20th Special Forces group. Whenever he got out, medically retired, he started his own company, Holos, that was doing this for law enforcement. He's like, man, there's nobody filling this role for law enforcement. Well, here recently, he's gotten involved with CORE as well. So it's like, man, he has this, the cold plunge, the ice bath, like tracking your sleep, like all the supplements to take, showing all the research on like what creatine does to help repair brain. Like, man, there's just the whole other side of it. And so it's like, man, that's another piece of the puzzle. And like now he's integrated with CORE. And then there's like all these different pieces of the puzzle. And like when you put us all together, that's what guys need to hear. That's what people need to see and to do. And everybody's different. So we have like just different pieces of the puzzle that are just constantly coming together. And it's just been really cool to be involved pretty early on in that process as a friend. And that now I'm officially involved with the company and with the foundation. It's really cool to be a part of the process. And every time we get together, it's just like a bunch of friends getting together, working towards the same common goal. And I really have always enjoyed being around that, like high functioning individuals that are all like coming together, working as a team towards one goal. Like that's always fun to be around.
Yeah, and that goal's not capitally driven.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's not one of those things where you're like, hey, we're just trying to make a bunch of money here. No, we're trying to help.
Everybody involved, man, to me is like living that motto of doing the right things for the right reason.
Yeah.
Like if we're doing this as a business, the goal isn't to make money. The goal is to help people. And like if we can fill this need and help people, the money will come.
Yeah, it's going to come.
Stop worrying about the money. Yeah. Worried about helping people.
We're not worried about metrics and ROI and all that. We're just worried about doing the right thing, and eventually it's going to compound.
It's a business.
Of course.
It comes up. It comes up, and we have to do the analyze things and look and see what's going to work and what is working. And hey, man, if this isn't working, then we need to cut the project. But that's I've really fallen in love with it. It makes work so much fun. Just super. Guys operating at a super high level, guys and girls operating at a super high level, all bringing kind of their piece of the puzzle together in an effort to help people kind of in different ways and from different aspects, from different viewpoints, I guess. And it's like, hey, I'm not here pushing testosterone or whatever, but it is a small piece of kind of what I talk about. I acknowledge that it's a big deal, and it's been a big deal for me personally. And guys are coming on board and just, hey, I'd love to see what we can do. It's been a really cool process of integrating into that team and seeing the team, the talent management that's kind of happening at CORE has been super exciting as well.
Yeah, man, I'm excited about it. I'm just excited, like I said, to be a fly on the wall at this point and actually be, somewhat involved with at least consuming and actually, seeing the results.
Yeah.
Well, before we wrap up, you got any final thoughts or anything? Anything you want that we didn't talk about?
No, man, just really want to say, like, I appreciate, bringing me back out here. I see a lot of the great guys that you've had on and girls. It's an honor to be here. I really enjoy it. Enjoy the content that you're putting out. And thanks for allowing me to come on and talk. I think we kind of went pretty deep on this one, a little bit deeper than maybe we have in the past.
I liked it, bro. I liked it. I mean, that's my favorite thing to do anyways. It's just, you got to kind of get through that little bit of Most of the time, someone just doesn't jump on that, and start, you got to kind of unravel those layers over time.
Well, it's also, man, it's hard to like jump in on a public setting and be open and vulnerable. I'm new to it. I'm learning to do it. And I think as I progress as an individual, the more of my like story and the more of my struggles that I'll like, I'll won't be as afraid to let it all out there. But especially probably in the next year or so that'll open up and I'll be able to talk about it a lot more.
Yeah. You might be writing a book soon or something. Huh?
No. I don't have enough hair gel to be a SEAL just yet. But no, man, I mean, that's pretty much it, man. I appreciate you allowing me to come on and talk about that stuff.
Good times.
Yeah.